I want $100,000 to come in. I want $100,000. There are 10 people that could give $10,000.
Imagine a pastor stops mid-prayer, looks out at the room, and says nothing else will happen until $100,000 comes in. Not next week, not after the service, right now. The music fades. The room goes quiet. People glance at each other, unsure if they heard it right. And the person making this demand isn't some unknown preacher in a small church. It's Paula White-Cain, a nationally known pastor with ties to political power in the United States. Cameras were rolling, the moment was recorded. And the question spreading across the internet was simple. Did a pastor really pause prayer until people paid? Before we go further, subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos like this. To understand why this moment shocked so many people, you need to understand who Paula White-Cain actually is. She didn't start with fame or power. Her early life was marked by poverty, family struggles, and trauma. Faith was on her way out. By her 20s, she was already preaching. By her 30s, when she was on television with Paula White Today, reaching millions of viewers. Her message often focused on a controversial belief known as the prosperity gospel, the idea that giving money and faith can lead to blessings. Today, she leads City of Destiny Church, but her influence doesn't stop at church walls. Now fast forward to February of 2026. Inside City of Destiny Church in Apopka, hundreds of people gather for an event called the Unleashed Conference. The promotion was simple. Come worship, or hear powerful speakers and experience spiritual breakthroughs. Most importantly, the event was advertised as free. No ticket price, no entry fee, just show up. People drove in from other states. Families filled the seats. Worship music filled the room. The atmosphere was emotional, hopeful, and intense. Then in the middle of the service, something unexpected happened. The music slowed. The service paused. And Paula White-Cain stepped forward with an announcement that would change the entire night, as she revealed that the funds were necessary to support a critical ministry project that the congregation had been discussing for weeks. The room was already deep in worship when Paula White-Cain suddenly stopped the flow of the service. She told the congregation she needed $100,000 to come in before moving forward. Not later, in that moment. She broke it down for the crowd. 10 people could give $10,000 each, or 100 people could give $1,000. And for those who couldn't, she said even $100 would count. Then came the line that shocked many watching the footage later. She told the room she would not lay hands on anyone for prayer until they were obedient. In other words, the service would not continue until the money started coming in. To understand why that moment felt so intense, you need to understand the teaching behind it. It's called the prosperity gospel. The idea is simple. Give financially and God will return the blessing. Supporters call it sowing a seed. Critics call it spiritual pressure. This teaching became popular through televangelists like Hinn, Kenneth Copeland, and Creflo Dollar. The message often sounds the same. Faith requires sacrifice, and giving proves obedience. But when prayer is paused until money appears, critics ask a harder question. Is this an act of faith or a transaction? What the occurrence wasn't an isolated incident for Paula White-Cain. Her financial practices have drawn scrutiny before. In 2007, she was part of a Senate investigation led by Chuck Grassley examining the finances of televangelists like Hinn, Kenneth Copeland, and Creflo Dollar. The inquiry looked at whether donations meant for ministry were used for personal luxuries. While no formal penalties were issued, questions about accountability and wealth accumulation lingered. It combined with past controversial statements and affiliations. This moment at the Unleashed Conference fits a pattern of high-pressure fundraising tied to spiritual authority, something critics have been warning about for years, as it raises concerns about the ethical implications of such practices on the integrity of religious organizations. The footage didn't stay under the radar for long. Within 48 hours, Christian media outlets, watchdog sites, and social media were flooded with reactions. Witty headlines described it as a textbook example of spiritual manipulation, while forums and comment sections debated the ethics of pausing prayer until money was given. Some believers defended her, citing faith and tradition. Others called it coercion. The conversation wasn't just online. Church leaders weighed in, questioning whether a free conference should carry a hidden price of obedience. Every clip, every quote fueled controversy, leaving viewers asking themselves, well, how far can spiritual authority go before it becomes exploitation? Subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos like this. So here's the question everyone should be asking. If prayer involves a cost of $100,000, what precisely are individuals investing in? Faith? Blessing? Did she gain access to a moment that should have been free? The checks were made out to Paula White-Cain Ministries, not the church, not a charitable fund, just her personal ministry, even excluding God. This moment exposes the tension between spiritual authority and financial influence, and it raises questions every believer and every viewer needs to consider. And while this story ends here, the pattern isn't unique. What other religious leaders are building empires behind the veil of faith? We'll explore that in the next video.